This guide is for people who identify as empathetic or as empaths. These are people who have an affinity for being sensitive to the experiences of the world around them. This personality type is generally creative, kind, and oftentimes in a lot of physical and emotional pain. As an empathetic person who works in the healing arts with lots of other empathetic people, something I'm learning is that pain and suffering of empathetic people hardly belongs to them at all. What I mean by this is that because empathetic people are able to be so perceptive to others' experiences, they internalize the pain of others. And it's easy to feel and think and sometimes even know that it's theirs. The ability to internalize others' pain is an empathetic person's gift to humanity. When it is a trained skill, emotional internalization becomes a superpower that allows you to help others heal past traumas and suffering that have been stuck for years. You're able to connect with people on levels that most cannot. You're a conduit for vulnerability and compassion. And what a medicine to the world that is. But if the skill of emotional internalization is not toned, it can be a destructive force in the empath's life. By internalizing the experiences of others, the empath's body cannot fully process the things that are not theirs, and they get stuck. Empathetic people experience anxiety, fear, physical manifestations from injury, from the world all around them. What then does it take to tone that skill of empathizing so that it is a superpower and not a detriment? My advice to you is to start asking questions, like the one I just asked. What would it take for your super caring heart be a healing force to the world around you and to allow your life to function with total ease at the same time, allowing the world's experiences to pass straight through you? I believe everyone is unique and that there's a multitude of methodologies and experiences that can work. But I'm going to share what works for me and what has worked for my empathetic clients as well. This is a trick that I've learned from Access Consciousness. When I walk into a new space, I notice the thoughts and feelings and emotions that are coming up for me and my body. I take a moment inward and ask my body, who does this belong to? Does it belong to you, or does it belong to someone else? When my body hears something that is true for it, it feels light, like an uplifting feeling in my chest. When my body hears something that is not true, it will feel heavy or curling in the chest. If it belongs to someone else, I say, okay, body, now return that to sender with consciousness attached. Almost every time I go through this process, whatever it was that I was internalizing, whether that be a pain in my neck, or a sudden sense of craving for sugar, or fearfulness, or sadness, it's immediately lifted. But it will usually come back pretty quick, as all I did was clear what I was taking on at that moment, and I didn't change the fact that I'm an empathetic person in a room full of people. So then, what would I do to keep this stuff from continuing to cling to my bones? Asking these questions gets easier. The more that I clear other people's stuff, the more I get tuned into what it feels like to be me, without the baggage of the world all around me hanging on my back. So in combination with clearing other people's things, part of the work of an empath is learning to expand. If I am filling the room, there is no space for the room to fill me. The things I have spoken to in this video are a practice, and they take discipline. But I promise if you ask the questions and take the actions, empathy will become your greatest superpower.